Joining us now is Texas State Representative Brian Harrison, a Republican. And I say that simply because we want people at home to know exactly where you stand on the political aisle and help us give us perspective on that debate in the classroom. Ms. Harrison, give us the backstory of how you first learned of this student's concerns and what was being taught in this class that she believed crossed the line.
Yeah, well, I'm not only a Republican, but I am an Aggie. I'm a proud member of the Fighting Texas Aggie class of 2004. You can see my ring right here. Okay, I mean, I love Texas A&M, and I hate to say this, I actually care more about protecting Texas A&M and the integrity of this once great institution than the current liberal leadership of Texas A&M, who has allowed and supported and promoted the indoctrination of DEI and transgender indoctrination in the classrooms for many, many years now. And so, yeah, my office obtained this video from this very brave conservative student who was subjected to protracted and nonstop transgender indoctrination, yes, in a children's literature class at Texas A&M, where the age of focus was between 3 and 12 years old. And one of the slides they were forced to learn was that said this exactly, said, why talk about queerness? Isn't that too adult for little children? Well, no, it's not. This is the kind of garbage that is going on in the classroom of people who are going to become future teachers and school superintendents. And the president of Texas A&M, who knew about all this over the summer, as well as the department head did, instead of taking swift action to get rid of that professor and cancel these courses, they engaged in a cover-up. And instead of punishing the professor, they threatened, coerced, and tried to silence the student, offering her a deal to basically say, okay, we'll let you keep your grade if you never return to that class, so that this professor can continue the indoctrination and nobody will know the wiser. And they even threatened her to try to prevent the release of these undercover videos that my office obtained and released a couple days ago. So I'm glad that by taking this national, I was able to get that professor fired and force the governor to weigh in on this, but it's not good enough. The professor of the president of this university, they say a fish rots from the head.
Mark Welsh.
The president of this university, yes, that's right, President Welsh, he has been supporting this. He is on audio supporting the continuation of LGBTQ indoctrination at taxpayer expense, and President Welsh needs to be fired right now.
You know, Representative Harrison, I served with many who did the ROTC program at Texas A&M, and they were not pleased to have this type of story be the headline talking about A&M. And I think that that's part of their frustration. But they also agreed with you that this rots from the top down. But we did reach out to Texas A&M President Mark Welsh for comment, but he did end up removing the dean and department head who oversee that course. And the professor, like you said, was fired. Welsh said in a quote to NewsNation, "If we allow different course content to be taught from what is advertised, we let our students down. When it comes to our academic offerings, we must keep our word to our students and to the state of Texas." I have to ask you, Representative Harrison, does that show that the university is taking this seriously?
That statement is dishonest, and President Welsh is a disgrace to Texas A&M and an embarrassment to the people of the great state of Texas who do not want their publicly funded universities engaged in indoctrination. And yeah, they're trying to take credit for firing their professor. Well, you know what? President Welsh was on audio secretly recorded almost a month ago, mocking and berating the student. And when the student asked him to fire the professor, President Welsh said, and I quote, "Well, that's not going to happen." President Welsh only took action because I went public, took this story to the national media, and then the governor was forced to weigh in. It was so egregious, but President Welsh tried to cover this up for over a month. Let me tell you something. I'm a student. As I talked about, I love A&M. I'm a graduate. They educated me. The Aggies have a code of honor. Aggies do not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do. And if the president of Texas A&M is unable or unwilling to abide by that, that is enough grounds. That is completely sufficient for his immediate removal. And quite frankly, Governor Abbott, I asked him 2 days ago to direct the regents to fire him. He should have been fired by now.
Texas State Representative Brian Harrison, we ask you to keep us updated on how this plays out. Thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be with you. God bless you all. God bless Texas.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.